Good afternoon, Houston. This is attorney Anthony Push from the Push & Win Law Firm, wishing you all a safe drive home. But in the event you do get involved in an accident, you know who to call. 833-PUSH-WIN. We push, you win.
Cumulus Media Station.
Good morning, everyone.
We ready?
Live from the TXU Energy Studio.
The Rula and Ryan Show with producer Eric, Special K, and Sam.
We all have ideas about what we want to do when we're little, and then adulthood kicks in, and it's rarely what we'd planned.
Looking back at your childhood, what did you aspire to be? And what are you actually now as an adult? Listening to our show, 713-390-KRBE is our phone number. If you are doing the job that you wanted to do when you were a child, you are only in the, God, how do you do this math? It's 1/6 of the people in the survey actually achieved that job.
Very little.
1/6.
Minimal.
Very little percentage. We're starting out with Maritza at 713-390-KRBE. Hi, Maritza. Good morning.
Hi, guys.
Good
I love your
morning.
show. I
Thank
listen every
you.
morning.
Oh,
Thank
we
you.
appreciate that. Maritza, what do you do for a living right now? What's your job?
I am a deputy constable
Whoa.
for Liberty
Cool.
County.
How long
And
have
I've
you
always
been doing
known
that?
I was going to, 22 years.
Wow. Deputy constable. Now, is this
Yeah.
something that you wanted to do as a young girl, or did you have other aspirations?
Well, ever since I was about 5 or 6, I knew I was
Really?
going to be a police officer. Yeah.
Wow, good for
Yeah,
you.
I've been a canine officer. I've been, I translate, I speak Spanish, so most of my life I've been helping the Hispanic community by speaking Spanish and translating.
Thank you.
Did you have a family member in
Law enforcement?
Law enforcement? Is that what made you want to do it? Did you see a TV show or something? What was
no,
that moment?
I just knew since I was young. I was just a little bossy.
Was it?
Well, Eric brings up a good point, because a lot of times we watch like maybe a TV show or something.
Like I watched Miami Vice as a little kid. I was like, oh, that looks cool. I can wear those cool outfits and live on a boat and shoot at people.
No.
Have an alligator.
Yeah, have an alligator. I thought that'd be cool. And then
I'm actually from Long Beach, California.
Oh,
and
wow.
when I turned 18, I took the LAPD test, got accepted into that, and then I couldn't go to the academy because I found out I was pregnant.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah. So I took a break, had 4 children, moved to Texas, and then I said, I'm doing it now. So
good for
Wow.
you.
Living the
Wow.
dream.
22 years later.
We thank you for what you're doing.
Fantastic,
So,
Marissa.
what's
Thank
the difference
you.
between deputy constable and then would constable be your next job hope?
When you get older, yes. Here in Liberty County. In Harris County, it's a little busier. But in Liberty County, which I'm on duty right now,
I always wondered what the difference is between like a sheriff and a constable.
nothing. We deal more in civil law.
Civil
So
law.
evictions, that kind
Got
of
it.
stuff.
Hey, is it true? Come on, it's between us girls here.
What?
Is there a quota? Like, do you guys have
There's
to like?
gotta be.
Give tickets. Come
No. But I'll tell you what, there is competition.
Do you guys get like a
these,
prize at the end of the month?
Yeah, like I got
No, a
more.
toaster. We joke around saying toaster. We get a toaster.
I think what Eric's trying to ask is, what's the best day I can speed and not get caught?
I figured
Oh my God,
the day before a thunderstorm, if I was a cop, I'd be like, wait, it's going to be raining the next 2
Yes.
days. I'm going to have to give you tickets today because tomorrow I'm not going to be
I'm not
getting
doing
I'm not
that.
getting in my car.
unless it's an accident.
Well, Maritza, thank you for what you're doing, and that's a pretty fantastic story. You took a break, you had 4 kids, and then you're like, yeah, I'm doing this. And now you're a deputy constable for 22 years.
thank you
Bravo
so
to
much.
you. God bless
Yes.
you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank
honey,
y'all.
take care.
Have a great day and
Thank
stay
you.
safe.
Bye.
You
Yep.
too. Bye-bye.
Somebody said, I'm moving to Liberty County. Don't pull me over, Marissa. That's what I said. Okay, 713-390-KRBE. Nora is up next. The question is, what did you want to be when you were a child thinking as an adult? When I grow up, I want to do this. And then what do you actually do now that you are an adult? Nora, good morning.
You want
Hi,
to be a
good morning.
mime?
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
we
I
hear you fine.
What did you want to be as a
Oh,
kid?
awesome.
What did you want to be when you were a
Oh,
kid?
I wanted to be a doctor.
And what are you now?
Yeah, I'm an anesthesiologist here at St. Luke's Hospital.
Wow.
Wow.
You're on your way.
That's
Wow.
2 for
I
2
love
right
it.
now.
It's the best thing. Shout out to all my anesthesia docs at St. Luke's Hospital.
Now,
Hey.
tell me what made you want to do that? Like, as a child, you're thinking, oh, I want to be a doctor. Was it, like Eric said, was it a TV show, somebody in your family that inspired you?
No, yeah, I don't know. Ever since I was 3 years old, I was just fascinated with the human body, with physiology, with science. It was just this passion that I had. No one in my family is in medicine, and I went for it.
It fascinates me what you do. Do you ever have people like who are more difficult to put under than others? Like, count to 10 and then they don't fall asleep?
Yeah. 100%.
Mm-hmm.
I
Has
have
anybody
some
ever woken
lightweight
up on you?
patients that go off to sleep very fast, and then I have some people that take a little bit more.
And you make some bank, don't you?
Yeah.
Oh, I bet. Because I always write that
She's
check to
taking
the
nice vacations,
anesthesiologist.
Yeah, but you're going on some good vacations.
Nora's taking some nice vacations.
Yeah.
Has anybody ever woken up on you?
No.
She
good
does
at
her
her
job
job.
right.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
right. Well, Nora, thanks for what you do. And if you ever have me in your operating room, know that I'm going to pass out by count number 4.
Absolutely.
can't
It
roll
will
over,
be an
start
honor
counting.
to take care of you. Thank you so much.
Sleeping.
That's
God
pretty
bless
cool.
you guys. Thanks, Nora. Tell everybody at St. Luke's we said
Bye-bye.
hi. Okay,
Bye-bye.
honey.
Good
Take
peeps
care.
there.
Bye.
Well, that's always like
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Bye.
That's always a game with me because I've had to be put under a couple of times with my health problems over the years, and I'm like, I'll make it all the way to 0, and I went 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I said, see,
Yeah, I'm out. I'm out.
my last word could have been like a really bad one.
Boom.
713-390 KRBE is our phone number, and we are asking the question: when you were a child, you thought to your adulthood, what are you going to be when you grow up? What is that job now versus what you aspire to be? So far, we're 2 for 2. People are doing what they wanted to do when they
Living
were
the
children.
dream.
I don't think it's ever happened. We've done this a few
Right.
times, and I don't think I've ever had that happen. Let's see if we do
Really?
3 for 3.
All right.
It's always been they want to do something, and then they weren't even close to that.
Okay, Daniel's up next. Hi, Daniel. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, everyone. How are
Hi.
you?
Hey,
Great.
Daniel, what do you
Happy
want to
Monday.
be when you were like a small child?
I really wanted to be an airline pilot,
Okay, so
and so now I am an airline pilot.
That is awesome.
okay, so what was the inspiration to be the pilot, and then at what age did you make it happen?
Tom Cruise?
Well, it was an accident, actually. Nobody in my family flew or anything like that, but when I was a kid, I went to space camp in Huntsville, Alabama. And
Did you
part of the
accidentally
space
launch
camp
into space?
curriculum- No, that would have been so much cooler, but part of the curriculum that summer was that they would take the campers up in a small airplane and do a little, 30-minute or 1 hour long flight. And that made such an impression on me when I came home from that summer camp. I told my parents I want to fly airplanes.
Cool.
And, I was probably 14 years old when I said I wanted to do that. When I was 15, I started bagging groceries at Kroger to pay for one flight lesson a month because that's all I could afford.
Wow.
But, I got my pilot's license when I turned 16
You're kidding.
and started working towards that career. And now I've been a pilot for the airlines for about 11 years.
And you've
So-
got to be really
awesome.
smart. My dad was a pilot growing up, and I wanted to do it until I realized you have to know a lot of math.
Yeah, you got to really figure
You
out.
really got to know math.
What can we ask?
Yeah, it
Which
does
airline
involve
you
some
fly
math.
for? Which airline do you fly for, Daniel? Do I just guess it's United? 'cause we're based here?
That's a great guess, but no, I'm actually a captain for Delta Airlines.
Oh, look at you.
Amazing.
So
Man, that's
that's
your
one
home
of the
base?
few perks about this job is that we can live anywhere we want to live and work anywhere else. So
But
true.
mostly Atlanta. Thank
Yes,
you.
that's what I was thinking. Atlanta, probably.
So, do you see a lot
Yeah.
of airline pilots hooking up with flight attendants?
I've heard the stories. I can't speak from any personal experience,
There
of
you
course,
go.
off the record.
I
But
thought usually it's because it's your work environment. So I
What's
don't know.
the rule for, like, say you fly in from Atlanta up to New York, and then can you fly back that same day from New York to Atlanta back to Houston, or do you have to
Hour
lay over?
restrictions.
Yeah.
What's the
yeah,
rule?
they have the FAA has limits for both how much flight time we can do in a single day and how much time we can be on duty. Basically, it's from the time we get to the airport to the time we're released. So
What's the
typically
rule?
for domestic flying, we can fly anywhere from 8 to 9 hours. So
Oh,
okay.
wow.
I mean,
Fine.
I've flown all the way across the country and back and gotten right up to that 8-hour limit.
And how much
Wow.
are you? How much are you flying the plane nowadays? Because with technology and the stuff you guys have.
Well, the automation is really, really helpful, but it's not any different than the way most cars are these days. The automation's only as good as what the pilots program it to.
Ah.
So
Mm.
most of our duty involves programming the flight computers and setting up that automation and using it correctly and monitoring it throughout the flight to
Can
make
you
sure
talk-
that it's doing everything.
Could you
So-
talk in your airline voice when we can understand you?
Yeah,
and you
yeah,
have
yeah.
a speaker. Yeah, they do.
Delta 9 are heavy.
Come on the PA there,
Yeah,
Daniel.
that takes years of developed skill.
It's such a
It's
relaxed
skill.
We'll be cruising at 30,000 feet. You might be experiencing
Years
a
of
little
developed
turbulence.
skill.
It's more
Just give
relaxed.
us an
though.
example,
So
Daniel.
relaxed. Yeah, let's
You're
hear it.
flying out of Houston today. It's a little overcast. Let's say maybe thunderstorms are in the way, what you're seeing on your radar. Go ahead and give us like a little
Yeah, what would it
example of
sound
what you're
like?
telling us
Yeah.
as your passengers.
Well, good morning, everybody. From the flight deck crew, this is your captain speaking, and
Oh, my
Is the captain intoxicated?
We have a whole script. I have a whole script where I say the same thing pretty much every time. But
that's funny.
I mean, if people can understand you, you're not really doing your job.
What are the rules as far as alcohol, though? I mean, you're not allowed to land somewhere.
Right, and they're having
but I mean,
cards come into the cockpit.
No, I'm just wondering, like, how many hours is like if you've had a drink, you can't fly for X amount of hours. Like, how many hours?
Yeah, there is an hour limit. The FAA and the companies have different rules. My personal rule is 12 hours. I don't drink within 12 hours of flying. But it's more important to know how it affects you because, of course, it affects everybody different, right? So 8 hours for one person might not be the same for somebody else.
Got it.
And that is a very strict zero tolerance thing in the aviation
Do you ever
world.
fly on your own plane? Or you just like, you know what? You're like, I work all day flying. I don't want to do that for fun anymore. Like
Sometimes I do miss flying the smaller airplanes. I actually haven't flown a smaller airplane in probably a decade since I started at the airlines. I do miss it sometimes, but
Well, Daniel.
But when I go to work, I'm gone for anywhere from 4 to 6 days at a time right now. So usually when I do get home, flying's the last thing I want to do.
Yeah, I bet.
That makes sense.
Well, thanks for listening to our show, Daniel. Safe travels, and maybe we'll have you on we'll be on one of your flights one day.
Tell everyone when you
taking the
land.
call. I would love that.
Yeah,
So listen to Rule and Ryan. Oh, welcome to Houston.
Welcome to Houston.
Listen to Rule and Ryan.
Best
If
radio
you're new to
station in
Houston,
town.
listen to the best show.
Go to
You're gonna find on your
104.1
dial.
KRBE.
Thank you so much,
Thanks a
Daniel.
lot, guys.
Thank you.
Have a great
Take
day.
care.
Stay
Bye-bye.
Stay safe.
Hey, by the way, guys, almost every call that was lined up is doing the job they wanted to be when they were kids.
That's great.
Almost every single one.
never happened
At one
before.
point, all the callers were doing what they wanted to be as kids, except for one came in late.
Anyone wanted to be like an accountant? A 6-year-old?
I'd like to be in human resources.
Y'all go to the listener line, 713-278-VENT. That's 8368. Tell us what you wanted to be as a kid and what you do now. Coming up next, we have a Rule and Ryan's Roses update with Hillary after she found out Evan had Tiffany on his mind when Red Roses came to be. Let's find out what happened over the weekend next on the Rule and Ryan Show.
KRBE. It's the Rule and Ryan Show. It is the summer of 2023. It kicks off in 1 hour, 8:20 this morning.
Yeah, that is where you're going to have a chance to become a finalist for $10,000. $10,000. Someone's going to win that at the end of the summer. 3 times a day, we make you a finalist. 820, 120, and 520. We'll give you a 4th of July prize pack to score at 820 this morning, which includes a $100 Kroger gift card, a $100 gift certificate for Top Dog Fireworks, and a charcoal grill. Woo. So 820 this morning is your chance to be the first finalist of the day for the summer of 2023.
Now, time for a Rula and Ryan's Roses update.
We're going to do this on the air.
104.1 KRBE.
All right, parental discretion is advised. Last Thursday, Hillary was suspicious about Evan. He takes their son, in a wagon to the neighborhood pool. She found a little lipstick in it.
Well, who's wearing lipstick if it's just the child and the dad?
Mm-hmm.
And who? I mean, I don't know. Some people like to wear lipstick at the pool, but usually
not the dude.
So let's just get you caught up. In case you missed what happened last Thursday, here's a little clip where Hillary's listening in. I'm talking to Evan about getting free red roses. And here's where Evan wanted those red roses sent.
Tiffany, looking forward to another play date.
Evan, what the
Yeah, I sent roses to a friend of mine, so what's the big deal?
I found a lipstick in the wagon. You took our son to the pool. I don't know what you're doing when you're supposed to be watching our kid, but some woman's lipstick, the color was called Hot Smoke and Sassafras, in the wagon, worn down to like a little nub or something like that, like some kind of skank who like has to put it on in a hurry.
Okay, well, yeah, I don't know. Well, I mean, our kids are playing together, so I don't know what else this is. So,
Well, I will say, Evan, can I just throw this your way? I'm a mom. We've done community pool visits with friends and whatnot. But I don't think I'd be okay if my dude sent another woman red roses to lock in another play date.
I sent her some roses. She's having a rough time right now. She's getting divorced. I'm letting her feel better, and her kids are our friends.
I'm having a rough time, too. You're never there for me. We don't go out on dates anymore. We haven't had sex in forever. What the hell, man?
Because not only are you mean, but you just don't even care what you look like at all. I mean, you have completely let yourself go. I mean, you put on a lot of weight.
Are we about to turn this around on her? Are you
sounds
just
like it.
starting to just physically pick at her because you're trying to deflect?
You're just calling me out because it's a bunch of weight that I put on after I had your child.
You had one child 3 years ago. That's plenty of time to lose weight. You work part-time. I'm not having an affair, but I am really, really starting to think about it. You complain yourself about how fat you've got, and then you sit there and you continue to eat about it. So what do you want me to do? Make a change in your life. Don't sit here and because you're fat, take it out on me.
You listen to me, Evan. I have been trying. I got my blood tested to see if I have a thyroid problem. I have tried raw diets. I have tried juice diets. I have been trying.
Hillary, do not let him tear you down, okay?
On the defensive.
Insulted you. Yeah, Rolla, you're right. He's got her on the defensive. I mean, this kind of fighting and this kind of negativity, it doesn't spill in front of your child, does it?
We try to keep it away from our child as possible because I love our son. I'm trying to do what's best for us. Maybe I don't have time to go to the gym or all these things that he wants me to do because I'm trying to take care of my son.
I'm telling you, Ryan, I've never even met you before, but we see this a lot of times. Guys are just trying to deflect from their own guilt by tearing down the person who's innocent.
You're absolutely right. I'm not going to let him do this to me because that's just a poor excuse. I see people who are together all the time. They love each other no matter what. Sometimes somebody gains a little weight, somebody gets sick, somebody gets injured. That's just what love is supposed to be.
Do what you know is right, and I just hope that you come out winning on this one, because that sounds like a bad situation if he's just taking cheap shots at you like that.
That's the lowest blow. Like, even other women don't do that to each other, and women can be pretty cruel, but even women know not to cut each other's weight down.
Yeah, I don't think they talk about the weight.
Well, in any case, that's an easy shot. You look at anybody's size, you want to try and hit him with the size, but obviously he was trying to hide behind
woman
his
gave
guilt
you a child
with the weight shaming. So let's find out what happened with Hillary after that conversation, and we're glad she's checking back in with us. Good morning, Hillary.
How you guys doing?
We're doing okay. You sound like you're doing better because you were really choked up at the end of that phone call. What's happened since then?
We're taking things back a step. We've thought about it and realized that this is just a bad direction that we're heading, especially in front of our son. So Evan's getting his own apartment. We're going to try some co-parenting, and I'm going to use that time that I've got for me. Maybe I'll get back into shape with some of this time that I've got to actually take care of myself, but I'm going to do it for me.
Did you find out who this Tiffany is?
I never did find out. No idea.
Okay, and he hasn't given you any other information about her?
No, and I don't think I want to know, because if he's been like this all along, then what difference does it make?
Hold on, it does make a difference if you said he has his own apartment and you're going to try co-parenting and see where that goes. I mean, because some people would think, well, maybe you're going to try and get back together.
Yeah,
so
what's
it
that
matters
mean?
if you're trying to get back together, if there's a Tiffany involved in the formula.
I don't know. I mean, once you get jilted, it's really hard to regain trust back. And I'm kind of enjoying my life to myself.
I mean, are you guys just focusing on co-parenting, or are you thinking that, hey, we're taking time apart, maybe we can rebuild this relationship?
We haven't thought that far. Right now, I'm sort of enjoying the here and the now. I'd be willing to at least give him another try because he is the father of our child. But I'm kind of enjoying this time away from him a lot.
Okay. I also want to point out the reason you're enjoying this time away from him is because the stress of him being around you is not there anymore, which I can promise you, if you're going to try and work on yourself, you'll be shocked at how much weight you're going to lose or how better you're going to feel or you're going to sleep better because the stressor in your life has been removed, and the stressor is him.
Yeah, maybe I'll lose some weight, maybe I won't. But happiness is what makes anybody feel beautiful, and I just don't need his approval.
So has he tried to be remorseful at all, or is he showing any kind of remorse? Like, well, okay, I'll be in my apartment, but let's see where this goes, or is he being still frigid?
He doesn't care. He's making absolutely no efforts to show any sort of remorse for what he said about my weight. And so I don't think I want him back if he's not going to show the tiniest bit of remorse.
Well, no, I mean, just stay on the path you're on. Focus on you and your son. Put him first, and then, focus. If you want to make these changes, like Rolla said, do it for yourself and not for him.
Yeah. I don't want any vengeance or anything like that. It might be just a coincidence if I decide to sign our son up for some bagpipe lessons when he gets a little older.
Hey, I know a school that does that.
Oh, you just mean the practice would be really loud?
I know a school that does that.
I'm not saying I'm doing this to be vengeful. If Evan happens to find that a bit too abrasive, then that's just a coincidence.
Okay. Well, so I'm glad that you have a better attitude, or you're in a happier state on this phone call than how the last one ended. Hillary, and I wish the best for your son, obviously, and for you. And if it's not being with Evan, then it's not being with Evan, as long as y'all figure out a happy medium there for your child.
Yeah. Did I mention that I might sign him up for bagpipe lessons.
Yeah, I got it.
You're really liking that. Okay.
Okay, well, thanks for checking in with us, and you have a fantastic day.
You too.
All right, take care. I think that's a telltale sign when you are on a break and you find that you're not missing them and that you're much calmer. When you're thinking, oh, God, I think that's just a perfect sign. Like if you're with somebody in a relationship and you're like, I can't wait till I can get home and be alone. That's a sign that you probably shouldn't be together.
Oh, God, that's
not good.
You should be missing the person when they're gone. You should be like, oh, God, I just wish I could be back with them.
And the person that's on vacation, if they really miss you, then you know it's something. Because usually when you're in it, you're on vacation, you're enjoying your time.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. If you're on the vacation, you're the one that went somewhere else.
Yeah.
Because the person left behind is like, okay, well, I'm doing my everyday boring
I'm
stuff.
just thinking of you. That person's
But
doing
if that
new
person
things.
that's in the new place with the tropical location, wishing they were enjoying it with you.
Although they're thinking, oh, this place is wonderful. I just wish you were with me.
Yeah.
Aw, it means it really is true love.
You'd hope they're thinking about you while you're sitting back in Houston. It's 110 degrees and you're miserable.
Feels like 130. Anyway, happy vacation time. Okay,
Hopefully you're
Rule and
leaving the
Ryan's
city.
Roses on Thursdays. Happens at 7 o'clock. If you want to be part of it, go to krbe.com. We'll contact you, get the story, contact your mate or the person you have questions about, and see where their head is. Are you on their mind or somebody else?
You always on my mind.
Oh, that sounds just
My
like
Willie.
the original.
That's my Willie.
Is that Elvis originally did that?
No, Willie Nelson wrote that.
He did?
Yeah. Willie wrote for a lot of people.
Wait a second. That
Pet Shop
wasn't an
Boys took
Elvis
it
song?
to.
Yeah.
They did it in the 80s, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
Or 90s.
Are you
were
telling me that
always
Willie
on my
Nelson wrote
mind.
that song for Elvis and Elvis sang
No,
it first?
Willie sang it too.
Did he sing it first, though? Who sang it first?
I don't know. Here, let's see. Grab my
I don't know the
for
history
this.
of that song.
Me neither, but I know it was an Elvis song because I've seen it in all these Elvis movies.
Who sang You
And
Were
he
Always
sang it
on My
stage
Mind
all the time.
first?
Well, Elvis probably didn't write anything.
You were
No,
always
Elvis
on my
didn't
mind.
write anything.
Right, he
Brenda
was-
Lee first sang it.
Oh, good to know. Everybody else has done it. Okay, coming up next, Taylor Swift has a warning for the Swifties to not attack. Do not attack. Stand down, says Taylor Swift.
Stand down.
She is saying stand down. And why does she need to send out this warning? We will explain in the scoop next on the Rule and Ryan Show.
Rule and Ryan Celebrity Scoop.
104.1 KRBE.
I want to remind you guys, or actually, I'm not going to remind you guys, I'm telling you for the first time.
Yes.
If you missed our show on Friday, it was towards the end of the show that we had Derek Shore, the host of Houston Life, on to tell us about his experience going down to the wreckage of the Titanic when he was 19 years old.
19 years old. He goes on a news assignment. He's down there at the bottom of the sea.
And how did that
with
happen?
The Titanic.
He was on that Channel 1 News that schools play. Lisa Ling was on that. Anderson Cooper got started on that. Maria Menounos. He was on that channel, and they told him, okay, assignment today, you're going down a submersible, and you're going to go to the Titanic. He's like, what?
Wow.
It was him,
And he's down there for 12
a producer,
hours.
and a Russian guy who didn't speak English.
Yeah.
So he told us about that journey and how insane it was. And so we're going to play that again for you at 8 o'clock, because I know a lot of you did not hear that on Friday at 9:20. So you get a little bonus Derek Shore interview coming up at 8. It was great. Okay, so Taylor Swift would like all the Swifties to calm it down before they freak out. Before they even freak out, she's telling them to calm down. You need to calm down. She was in Minneapolis doing her show like she did it here at NRG, like she's done it in so many different cities. In every show, she does a surprise song. The surprise song that she chose to do is one that she has not performed live since 2012.
Mm-hmm.
It is called Dear John. It is about John Mayer.
Oh.
It's when she was 19 years old. She wrote this song for the Speak Now album where John Mayer basically yanked her chain and smashed her heart into bits and pieces. And she wrote about it. Well, she's re-releasing Speak Now in just a few days. July 9th is the big deal. It's the big deal. July 9th is going to come out because, as you know, Taylor Swift does not own her catalog anymore. Mm-hmm. And she's trying to take it back. So she's re-releasing her own masters so you can buy the Taylor's version and screw over the owners of the original catalogs.
I love that. I want to buy it just to screw over those people too. And I don't even listen to that
she
album.
had to re-record Dear John. And she just wanted to let all the Swifties know you don't need to go after somebody that because of I wrote about them a billion years ago. She said, I'm 33 years old. I don't care about anything that happened to me when I was 19. Well, I think she does care about some of that stuff. Obviously, that's where the music came from.
Yeah, but I mean, come on. Do you really still hold a grudge against a high school breakup when you're in your 30s?
No.
I mean, her fans do.
I know,
Yes.
but
Yeah, the
I'm
fans
saying
take it more
you, the
serious.
person that wrote the song, you're probably not thinking about all of us had breakups in our lives. Do you sit around and think about that person from a dozen years ago or 20 years ago?
Well, you still talk about the girl you were supposed to propose to and you were crying
Well, that's
going
because you guys
home.
play that stupid song that you made fun of me.
Just in general, you talk about her all the time.
And then
just
the other
on
one,
air.
too. Yeah, there's a
I know
couple
her
of
name
them.
was Stephanie. I know your parents told you they were getting divorced when you drove into the driveway.
I told that story.
After crying
Yeah.
coming back
And the
home.
family didn't like you because you were not Hispanic?
Oh, that was a different family, yeah.
Well, it was a different girl. See, there's two girls
Yeah,
you've been
that was a different
pined
family.
over.
Yeah,
Well,
they wanted
what
it.
Taylor said was, I'm 33 years old. I don't care about anything that happened to me when I was 19. I'm not putting this album out so you can go on the internet and defend me against someone you think I wrote a song about 14 million years ago. Now, they are correct that it's John Mayer because she did say, that one person who may or not have written about somebody's body being a wonderland.
Oh, God.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Because it was about John Mayer. When she was 19, she went out with John Mayer, and she's 19. She's getting emotionally hooked up with John Mayer, and John Mayer was the guy who loved to play dating roulette with all the starlets.
No, wait, did he write Your Body's a Wonderland about Taylor Swift?
Oh, God, no. That was way before her.
I
Oh.
don't think so.
Yeah, here are the lyrics to Dear John in case you aren't familiar. Long were the nights when my days once revolved around you, counting my footsteps, praying the floor won't fall through again. And my mother accused me of losing my mind, but I swear I was fine. You paint me a blue sky and go back and turn it to rain. And I lived in your chess game. And it goes on and on.
Yeah.
It's really about the torment of an older guy. Like you're just 19 and you're like, oh my God, this older famous guy who does the same thing as me is interested in me.
What was the age
back and
gap?
forth, back and forth, back and forth.
Was he considerably older than her back then?
Well, let's see. She's 33 now. Isn't he like 40, 45?
I don't know how old he is.
No, let's see.
He's going to be mid-40s.
Yeah, he's mid-40s. For sure, I would say at least 10
I
year age
say
gap.
he's 46.
You're close, 45.
45.
Maybe his birthday is tomorrow.
So Taylor just wants everyone to know. Calm it down.
People are saying July 7th it's coming out.
Oh, July 7th. They know better than me. I'm a little off on my Monday game. Thanks for clarifying.
Swifty's going to come after you.
You're correct. July 9, July 7.
Don't mess with
So
least
yeah,
day.
that'd be really good, and I'm curious to see how that's going to play out. Now, in case you missed this, we talked about earlier how Maury Povich did not take advantage of this when he was in the thick of it during his show, The Maury Povich Show. That would constantly turn into a paternity test show. You are the father, you are not the father, but he is now launching his own paternity test company called The Results Are In. Because that's what he used to say all the time before he announced if the person was the father, when all these women would come to the show and they weren't sure which brother they slept with and which person is the daddy.
It's a smart move.
Yeah. But
He
think about it.
said-
Almost anybody could get in on this. If you have a catchphrase, you can apply it to a product.
He said, I've been around paternity tests for more than 20 years. So I know exactly what's going on and how we can help those people who are looking for fathers and fathers who are looking for children. Fathers who don't think they're fathers and fathers who think they are the fathers. I've seen firsthand how DNA testing can change lives and bring families together. We are making it easier and more affordable than ever before with Maury Povich's The Results Are In. But it doesn't say how much it's charging for it. It's an at-home paternity test.
Are you going to pay the extra for the Maury brand?
The problem is no one's going to believe it. Like, you know what I mean? It's
Oh,
like
yeah.
pregnancy tests, you got to take 2 or 3, right?
No, yeah.
Most people, like, did that really happen?
Right.
And the guy's not going to believe that.
Well, Maury said you're the dad.
I don't know why that is.
Does it come
Is
with
that
the note
funny,
cards,
Sam?
too?
When you
That's
find
a-
out you're pregnant, why do we take the test more than one time?
Because
2
there's
times,
no way
3
it's
times.
legit. Maybe that pee was off.
Yeah, because you're just thinking like, wow, is that
You
right?
have to pee on a stick.
Like even if you were trying and you're hoping that it's going to happen and it tells you it's positive, then you're like, well, let me take another one.
Yes.
Just to make sure it actually is positive.
Yes.
Okay, then I'll call the doctor.
It's like the COVID test.
Yes.
Oh, yeah,
Like
but
you-
when you get that bar, you're like, oh, crap. When you see the positive bar, you're
Like,
like,
oh, it's just kind of there a little bit. Maybe I should take another one.
Right.
and then you're
It
like,
may
I think
show
I
up.
see
oh,
that
it's
there.
definitely there.
I'm not sure if I see that there. The other story we were talking about earlier this morning is that, speaking of Derek Shore's interview about going down to see the Titanic wreckage, My Heart Will Go On by Celine Dion had a streaming spike because of the Ocean Gate disaster.
God, people are morbid.
The song was streamed almost 523,000 times
Whoa.
since it was announced that the 5 people on board had been killed.
Why is it morbid? Maybe it makes you feel better. Like, you think about those people and to you that song feels good. You know, why is
They
it
died
bad?
in the same place where 1,500 people lost their lives.
I think what's really bad
I
is
mean, if they actually taken time, that they're probably hopefully thinking about those people. And
it's better than
saying
going to a
prayers.
Green Day concert with the one guy's
No, he went to
son.
Blink-182.
Blink-182.
Blink-182,
And then
yeah.
he was on OnlyFans the next day.
Yeah.
That's
It
when
was
people
the
look
son
pretty.
of the billionaire?
The son of the
Stepson.
billionaire went to
Stepson.
a Blink concert.
Stepson.
But what does he do on OnlyFans?
No, he was messaging an OnlyFans girl, like, please pray for my family.
I
think he was trying to get
Now
his
show me your
name.
boobs.
Yeah. That's the second
Or
part.
maybe he doesn't have any friends that he can confide in. His OnlyFans girl
He's
is
got $1
his
billion.
friend.
I'm sure he's got a lot of friends.
Not
It's so
real
sad.
ones,
Did you see
maybe.
the story? The 19-year-old, his mom was going to go on the trip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she didn't do it.
Gave
That's so
him-
sad.
Well, isn't the 19-year-old the
Well,
one that
she had
didn't want to
COVID.
go on?
She had COVID.
So they
When
took
they were
the
going to do
son.
this last year, and so she couldn't go. So she said, "You go with them this year."
But he's the one that didn't want to go.
Yeah, and he had a Rubik's Cube with him. He always had a Rubik's Cube because he wanted to go down there, and
Oh.
and he could do it in under 20 seconds.
Oh, wow.
That's
And
insane.
he wanted to do it underneath, by the
That's some
Titanic.
Final Destination stuff there.
This sucks.
Derek Shore interview, 8 o'clock.
Yep.
You want to
Yep.
know what it feels like going down there? He knows what it's like going down to the wreckage
many
of the
people do?
Titanic.
No.
He's from Houston Life. It airs on KPRC Channel 2 at 1 o'clock. You'll hear that full interview. At 8 o'clock, let's get some news.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Rula and Ryan Show on KRBE with what's going down in H-Town.
All right, it's brought to you by Duncan. There's an excessive heat warning in effect all week long, Monday through Friday. Temperatures are always going to be over 100 degrees every day, but the heat index will feel like 110 during the afternoon. So don't be out there overexerting yourself. Alex Bregman drove in a game-run in the 11th inning, and the Stros beat the Los Angeles Dodgers 6-5 Sunday, despite squandering a 3-run lead. Eric, take it away. You must have been so frustrated.
Our bullpen's having little problems there. Montero, we got to send him away. I said trade him for a bag of peanuts.
Trade him
Let's
for
get
a bag
out.
of peanuts.
Oh, my God.
Bring a minor league, like Ryan, you talk about all the time. The definition of insanity is
Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result.
you keep
That is
bringing Montero out
Einstein's
there,
theory.
and this is what happens.
Yeah.
You hit a guy,
Oh,
watch a guy
no.
hit a
Oh,
got
no.
a double, all
Yep.
kinds of crap, then a home run. Get rid of him.
I'm with you there. Frito-Lay has issued a voluntary recall of Tostitos avocado salsa jar dip because it may contain undeclared milk allergens. This is according to the FDA. People with an allergy or sensitivity to milk could face a serious or life-threatening allergic reaction if they eat the dip. The recall affects the 15-ounce Tostitos avocado salsa jar dip that was sold nationwide in stores and online and could have been purchased as early as April 5th of this year.
Didn't even know they had that. Sounds kind of good.
The jar dip.
Except for the
If you don't have a problem with milk, you can eat it.
avocado dip, don't you think there'd be some sort of a dairy component to it to make it creamy?
you'd think, right?
Right, because avocado, if
Apparently
it's
not milk.
if it's just avocados and salsa, it's one thing. But if it's any kind of a
don't think
shade
there's-
of creamy or white, you'd think there's a dairy component to
One of
it.
those dips can just sit out.
Yeah, that's
Processing,
because
huh?
they've got a lot of
Processing.
a lot of chemicals in it.
I'm like, how's that happen?
Like if I cut up an avocado and put it in the fridge, it's brown in like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
There's no way something can sit in a jar for like 6 months and it not turn brown unless there's a million boatload of chemicals
Well,
in
it's not pure avocado.
Yeah.
It's been mixed with a lot of other stuff.
it. Yeah, chemicals.
Wait till the vacuum seal has been popped and then see how fast it goes down.
That's what's going down.
All right, so like we said, Derek Shore came on our show to talk about going down to the Titanic debris field. And he was 19 years old when he did it. He was first of all, he was the first journalist ever to do it, and he was the youngest person to go down there at the time. I don't know if anybody younger than 19's been down there.
I remember him saying, like, I don't, because we're like, we've known you for years. We never knew you did this. He goes, I don't go around telling people.
Hey, you know what I did? Hey guys, did y'all know that I've been down to the Titanic?
Imagine if Ryan did that every day on our show somehow.
Oh, yeah.
It'd be like, Ryan's talking about his trip to
Titanic.
Titanic.
Titanic journey.
Every day.
All right, we'll let you hear. It was pretty fascinating. You got to hear it for yourself next on the Rule and Ryan Show.